in there.
Shalom.
This just should be it. Daddy, you want me to?
Check.
Oh.
Check.
Oh.
Check. Shalom. We come forth to bring forth the truth to our people of Negro, Indian, Latino descent, primarily indigenous ones of this land of America, Central America, South America, the Caribbean islands. Matter of fact, we scattered among all nations of the world. Give me Colossians 3:17.
Colossians chapter 3 verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to Yahweh by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai.
Right, so all that we do is going to be in the name of the anointed Savior. We give praise and glory to the Most High. We thank Him for allowing us to be able to come out of the darkness as most of the people are in this world, as far as ignorance is concerned, not knowing. And so we give all praise and glory to the Heavenly Father, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is what we stand on, this is what we believe in, and this is our power. Give me Exodus 3:15 and 16. Because it seems like there's a power.
Check it out. This is no trouble.
It seems like there's a problem that we can find any kind of problem to just credit the fact of who the Most High is. Everybody's tripping right now on His name, but this is what the Most High told Moses to tell the children of Israel. And He said, I am. Okay, you want to trip on that? It's okay. But He came back and told Moses this. Most High speak once, say twice. Let's see what He told him in Exodus 3:15.
Exodus chapter 3 verse 15.
And you can't go wrong with this. Listen what He said.
And the Most High HaMashiach Yahushai said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel.
And I wish brothers would hear this. What He told them to tell them.
The Most High power of your fathers.
Most High power of our forefathers. Who is it?
The power of Abraham.
The power of Abraham.
The power of Isaac.
The power of Isaac.
And the power of Jacob.
And the power of Jacob. Read.
Hath sent me unto you.
That's what He told Moses. Read.
This is my name forever.
This is the Most High's name. How long?
Forever.
Forever. Read.
And this is my memorial unto all generations.
It's a memorial to all generations. We're a generation now. So now we got to acknowledge Him as the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is His name forever and a memorial to all generations. That's our forefather. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that's who the Most High, the Heavenly Father, said He's the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob forever. A memorial to all generations. Go ahead.
Go and gather the elders of Israel together.
We told them to gather the elders of Israel together. So the elders are going to teach and bring forth what the Most High told Moses to the rest of the tribes of Israel. Ready?
And say unto them.
Say unto the elders. That's the first people that Moses goes reach of the children of Israel once he left the presence of HaMashiach Yahushai, really, and the spirit, the angel, bringing forth the word of the Most High. Read.
The Most High power of your fathers. The power of Abraham.
Once again, the power of Abraham,
of Isaac,
and
of Jacob.
Read.
Appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you and seen that which is done to you in Egypt.
Right. So He said, hey, He visited us and see what was done to us in Egypt. Matthew 22:32. So once again, let's see what HaMashiach Yahushai, the anointed Savior of the world, calls Jesus Christ. Let's see what He said out of His own mouth. What did He say? Concerning who the Most High is. Read.
Matthew chapter 22 verse 32. I am the power of Abraham.
He's the power of Abraham once again. Read.
And the power of Isaac.
Power of Isaac. Read.
And the power of Jacob.
And the power of Jacob. Come on.
The Most High is not the power of the dead, but of the living.
Right. He's not the power of the dead, but of the living. And we are living, so He's our power. Acts 3:13. So that's in the gospel. We look at the Old Testament. Now we're looking at the Gospels, now look at the further in the New Testament. What does it say? Who's the Most High identify himself as? Read.
Acts chapter 3, verse 13.
Right.
The power of Abraham.
Power of Abraham.
And of Isaac.
And of Isaac.
And of Jacob.
And of Jacob, who is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, who we represent. Read.
The power of our fathers.
The power of our fathers. Come on.
Hath glorified his son, Hamashiach, whom he delivered up and denied him in the presence of Pilate.
Right, wicked Israelites. They said, give us a murderer. This our people. Wicked Israelites, the children of the devil. Straight up. Children of disobedience. Right. They'd rather have a murderer, Barabbas, than to have a Mashiach Yahushua. Right. That's our people. Bunch of snitches. You know that? That's our people, man. We the ones that gave him up. You so-called Negroes, yeah. That's what we did. Gave him up to the so-called white man.
Right.
Yeah. That's what we did. Bunch of snitches. They didn't have nothing on them, just made up some things.
Right.
But they wanted to get rid of them. But that's all right. He lives forever and ever and ever. And can't nobody gonna stop it, because we come back, he coming back. Let's read how he coming back. Isaiah 47:3. Because a lot of people think, okay, and some of you waiting on him to come back the first time. Oh yeah, you gonna see him for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the last time. Let's read it.
Isaiah chapter 47, verse 3.
Right.
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Yeah, he said your nakedness, so-called white man, and all you that follow this wicked world, gonna be uncovered. Yeah, all the shame that you have done, all the things that you're doing that's contrary to the laws of the Most High. Men with men, women with women. Going up in the schools right now, a little boy from kindergarten to 8th grade can say, I'm a little girl, and go up in the girls' bathroom. Little girl can say, I'm a little boy. I can go up in the boys' bathroom, in the boys' locker, in the girls' locker. Contrary to the sex that the Most High made them from birth. That's abominable. Your children got to go to school, and the little girl gonna see little boys in the bathroom. What you think gonna happen to her if you don't watch it, right? Come on, you got a little girl going into the boys' bathroom. They better be ready. If they don't know the arts, they don't know martial arts, they don't know something. Cause there's gonna be a whole lot of rapping going on up in these schools. You watch what I'm telling you. So that's wicked, man. And I'm telling you before it happens. Take your children out of these wicked schools. Homeschool them if you can. There's something wrong with that, man. Something wrong with that picture. Read it again.
Isaiah chapter 47, verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Yeah. The nakedness. Then you will be exposed. Read.
Thy shame shall be seen.
And the shame of America being seen right now. Look at everybody. Everybody's off concerning how the words say we're supposed to be. You have to go back for a few years and you'll see that, especially women, y'all women is the glory of the man. And the most I say, you're going to make our glory shameful. And that's what I look at. Shameful. The things that you do, the things that little girls are doing to contain their virginity, doing all kind of madness, unheard of madness. And you think you gonna be liked. Yeah, they talk about you. You gotta change this world, man. That's why this shame is being exposed. And our people following the same traditions as who? This world system gives us. Read.
I will take vengeance.
Mashiach Yahushua said he gonna take vengeance. Read.
And I will not meet thee as a man.
He's not gonna meet you as a man. Because he's coming in his angelic power to judge and make war. Give me Revelations 19:11.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 11.
So y'all better have a good time right now, because it ain't gonna be so long before the evil time that you in right now gonna be dissolved. Gonna be eradicated. You're gonna be melted. Look.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 11. And I saw heaven open.
John the Revelator seen heaven open. He seen a vision. Read.
And behold, a white horse.
This is a Mashiach Dawashai coming with pure righteous power. Read.
And he that sat upon him was called faithful and true.
It's a Mashiach Dawashai who the world calls Jesus Christ. Read.
And in righteousness,
what he coming back to do?
he doeth judge.
He coming back to judge. Read.
And make war.
And make war. Make war. He ain't coming back for no love. Read.
His eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes will be as a flame of fire, because he's mad as ever. Read.
And on his head were many crowns.
Many crowns, powers and authority to our power, this black man that came on the earth to save us, the children of Israel. Read.
And he had a name written that no man knew.
Nobody gonna know his name. I don't care, y'all can feud over all the names that you want to call him. But he had a name, what?
No man knew.
No man knew his name when he come back. Come on.
But he himself.
Come on.
And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in
So
blood.
his whole garment gonna be what?
Dipped in blood.
His whole garment gonna be dipped in blood, people. That don't sound like he coming back with no rose petals and love and happiness and joy. See, his whole garment gonna be dipped in blood. Read.
And his name is called the Word of the Most High.
His name is called the Word of the Most High. He's the Word of the Most High. Meaning he speaks the words of the Heavenly Father. Read.
And the armies which were in heaven followed him.
Yeah, that the army, the angels that are in heaven follow him. Read.
Upon white horses.
Upon pure power too. Pure righteous power. That's what it's talking about. Read.
Clothed in fine linen, white and clean.
Now I thought they butt naked.
White and clean.
White and clean. We got them angels. We got your angels right here. Right up in this book that they Esau done put in here. Butt naked babies. You know? What was the angels clothed in?
White linen.
White linen, read.
Fine linen, white and clean.
Fine linen, that's white and clean. Okay? They ain't butt naked, no butt naked babies. Read.
And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword.
Out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword that he should do what?
That with it he should smite the nation.
You know that? With this sharp sword, he gonna smite. That means he gonna kill the nations. Come on.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
He gonna rule them with the laws of the Most High. So you said we're not in the law, but all nations gonna be ruled with the laws of the Most High. Come on.
And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty power.
You know, he gonna tread the winepress. You know, you stepping grapes. He gonna that's why his whole garment gonna be full of blood. Full of blood. Because he gonna trample the winepress under the power of the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We're here to warn you. Because y'all think that you're going to be able to do the things you're doing now forever. But it's coming to a head. America already was shut down. You only got a few months to allow it to run again. What you going to do when they cut out welfare? What you going to do? They talk about cutting out Section 8. What you going to do then? What you going to do when they set the price of gas up so high you can't drive? What you going to do then? Shut down, because I mean the trucks went on strike, so y'all gonna shut down, we gonna go on strike. What you gonna do when the trucks shut down? When no food is coming in and going out? They gonna embargo right here in America. What you gonna do then? If you ain't coming together to have a plan, because Esau got a plan, the so-called white man got plans. He's been planning for years and years. Don't think you'll be caught unexpectedly. You're the one's gonna be caught unexpectedly because you think the world gonna last forever. You know? And the one reason why you can't even see that you got next. You can't even see yourself having next. This is my Jack that was trying to say his whole garment gonna be drenched with blood. But are you ready for that? No. Because y'all used to that prosperity preaching. Yeah. That's why you stand across the street looking, but on the real, this is the real deal. Because you really have to watch out as the times go by, because ain't nobody gonna be wanting to be with you. They're gonna separate themselves from you. And they come after us because they know that we got next, whether you know it or not. Forever and ever and ever. Alright. You know.
And he had on his vesture and on his thigh, and named written, King of Kings.
That's right, King of Kings, read.
And powers of powers.
And powers of powers, under the power of the Most High. Come on.
And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven,
What did you tell the birds?
come and gather yourselves together.
Come birds, come buzzards, come eagles, come all you vultures, and do what?
Unto the supper of the great power.
To the supper of the what?
Great power.
Great power, come on.
That ye may eat the flesh of kings and the flesh of captains.
You know that? The flesh of who?
Kings.
Kings. These kings will be eaten up by the vultures, read.
And the flesh of captains.
The flesh of captains, the army men, read.
And the flesh of mighty men. And the flesh of horses. And of them that sit on them.
You hear that? Because everybody will be fighting. And he's telling the buzzards to come and eat up people. Because that's what happened to us.
Right.
It happened to us already. When we fell in 70 AD. That happened to us. But let's find out whose blood Hamashiach Yahushai's garment going to be filled with. Isaiah, the 63rd chapter. Because the Bible answers itself. It tells you, point blank, without a shadow of doubt, who it's talking about in Isaiah, the 63rd chapter. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 63 verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom?
Come from where?
Edom.
Edom is the biblical name for the so-called white people. That's their name. They're the Edomites. Who is this that coming from Edom? We just read about Hamashiach Yahushai's garment being drenched with blood as if he was stepping on grapes. Really?
With dyed garments from Basra.
With dyed garments from Basra. Basra is the capital city of the Edomites in Mount Seir, really?
This that is glorious in his apparel.
This that is glorious in his apparel, meaning his clothes, his garment. Really?
Traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Traveling in the greatness of his strength, the power of the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Can't be no stronger than that. Come on.
I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Mighty to save who? Save the children of Israel, who most of you are. Right here in South Central LA. Really?
Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel?
And I was asking the question. We already know that his clothes will be drenched with blood. Now I'm asking the question here. You already know the answer, but you don't know whose blood it is. So he says, why is your clothes drenched and red in apparel? Your apparel red. Read.
And thy garment like him that treadeth in the wine fat.
Yeah. So why is your garment like somebody that's been stomping on grapes and all the grape juice have come on your garment? Really?
I have trodden the winepress alone.
So Hamashiach Yahushai say he trodden the wine press alone. Come on.
And of the people there was none with me.
Of the people there was none with him. Come on.
For I will tread them in mine anger.
So I'm going to tread down someone in his anger. Come on.
And trample them in my fury.
You're going to trample them in his fury. Come on.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment.
He said their blood shall be sprinkled upon his garment. That don't sound like a lot of love to me. Love at all. That sounds like love to put somebody to death. Love to bring forth vengeance and wrath and anger and indignation and work. Really?
And I will stain all my raiment.
When he said he's going to stain all this raiment, all this garment going to be stained like somebody stomping on grapes. Come on.
For the day of vengeance.
The day of what?
Vengeance.
The day of vengeance. Come on.
Is in mine heart.
The day of vengeance in his mind. Come on.
And the year of my redeemed is come.
He said the year of his redeemed is come. Who is his redeemed? Who is he talking about? Hold that. Get Matthew 15 and 24. Let's hear what he said out of his own mouth. This is what Christ said out of his own mouth. Let's hear what he said.
Matthew chapter 15 verse 24.
Right.
But he answered and said,
What did he say?
I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
He said he was only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Point blank. So that's his redeemed, because he's sent to redeem someone. And that's the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And that's what we're here to represent. The 12 tribes of Israel. Ready? Go back to Isaiah 63. Pick up where you left off.
Isaiah chapter 63. And 4. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
See, the year of his redeemed is come. That's when he's going to be drenched with his blood all over his garment. When the day of his redeemed is come. When he's going to redeem 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. Read?
And I looked, and there was none to help.
There was none to help him. Come on.
And I wondered that there was none to uphold.
There was none to uphold. Read?
Therefore, my own arm brought salvation unto me.
His own arm brought salvation unto him. Come on.
And my fury, it upheld me.
His fury, it upheld him. Come on.
And I will tread down the people.
Hold up. He said gonna tread down who?
The people.
So now let you know that he's gonna be treading down people that come from Basra. That's the capital city of the Edomites, who are the so-called white people. That was their land. He's going to tread them down, because he said he's going to tread down the people. We're reading from the Holy Bible, the 1611 Bible. Read?
In mine anger.
In his anger. He's going to tread down the people in his anger. Read?
And make them drunk in my fury.
He's going to make them drunk in his fury. He's going to be staggering in his fury when he do this. Read?
And I will bring down their strength to the earth.
You know, he's going to bring down the so-called white man's strength to the earth. Read?
I will mention the loving kindnesses of the Most High.
He's going to mention the loving kindnesses of the Most High. To who? To Israel. To the Israelites. Read?
And the praises of the Most High according to all that the Most High has bestowed on us.
That's right. Because we the ones that need to be redeemed.
God.
We the ones that need to be saved. We the ones that need salvation. Give me Luke 1:68. This is what he's doing, and this has to be done through war. Like he said, he's coming to judge and make war. Did they get America by voting? Did they get Europe by voting? Any lands that's been gotten, you looking at the Egyptians. Who took down the Egyptians? The Syrians. Who's the next power? The Babylonians. Who's the next power? The Persians and Medes. Who's the next power? The Greeks. So-called white people. Then the Byzantine Empire. Then who? The so-called white man coming into power again. That's Ottoman Turks in 1453 and 1492. Took them those years to take down the Byzantine Empire. Pretty much so they can start spread themselves all over to where we at now. They call it the Renaissance period all up to now. Whether you want to accept it or not. They are the superpower of Earth right now. So he's who he gonna make war with? He ain't gonna make war with you. You walking. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with you? You know? They ain't coming to make no war with us. What we have? We not no stealth bombers. We not no anti-matter guns. He coming to bring it, man. He coming to bring it. Straight up. That's what he getting ready to do. Are you ready for that? Better get ready, because he coming to do it. Straight up. Read on.
Luke chapter 1, verse 68.
Right.
Blessed be the power, most high power of Israel.
Blessed be the power of who?
Israel.
Of Israel. Blessed be the power, the most high power of Israel. Read.
For he hath visited and redeemed his people.
He visited us and redeemed his people. There it is. Remember we say it's the time of his redeemed. So he visited and redeemed his people. Read.
And hath raised up a horn of salvation for us.
He raised up a horn, which means a power of salvation for us, the children of Israel. Come on.
In the house of his servant.
In the house of his servant, who?
David.
David. King David of the tribe of Judah. Come on.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets.
As he spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets, read.
Which have been since the world began.
They all spoke about us having next. We got next. We had to go through what we had to go through to get this next though. Read?
That we shall be saved.
That we should be what?
Saved.
We the only ones got need to be saved. We the ones in the ghettos and slums. The last hide, the first fight. Drugs on in our neighborhood. Guns everywhere. But they put on who? Us. A genocide against us. We put the genocide against each other.
Right.
Most sides say we're supposed to love each other. But what we do, we hating on each other. Don't even get along. You can't even go from one side of the young brother, you can't probably go over to some other side of the street. You know what I mean? That's more than walking. You better go anywhere you want to. And brother's supposed to show you love. But no, everybody against each other.
Can I take a picture of this?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Me.
That we should be saved from our enemies.
This being saved, we gotta be saved from who?
Our enemies.
We gotta be saved from our enemies. And who?
And from the hand of all that hate
And from the hand of all the people that hate us. Whether you hear from there, that's who we gotta be saved from.
God.
Who the enemies? Deuteronomy 28:68. Let's find out one of the main enemies that we have, whether you want to accept it or not. A lot of you ain't nothing but a bunch of sabos. You ain't nothing but a bunch of turned out Edomites. Bunch of Oreo cookies.
Humbly alive.
Yeah. Black on the outside and white on the inside. So we here to reach out for the brothers that's really down and want to stand for what's right and be a righteous brother and stand for the Most High. Boom. And a Mashiach double shy. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68.
Listen.
And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again.
We're looking for who the enemy is. He said going to send us into Egypt. What does Egypt mean? Exodus 20:2.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 2.
Right.
I am the Most High thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt means bondage, captivity, and slavery when we read the Bible. Now go back to Deuteronomy 28:68. So we're looking for our enemies. Who are our enemies that we got to be saved from? Who we got to be saved from that hate us? Read.
And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he's going to bring us into captivity, slavery, and bondage another time. How?
With ships.
How?
With ships.
What people came into captivity, slavery, and bondage? How?
With ships.
With ships. What people? It was not us. That we don't represent the Israelites. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
The place where Moses was speaking to us in the wilderness, read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
And we ought to see that homeland of Israel again. Because we over here scattered all over North, Central, and South America, the Caribbean Islands, everywhere across the world. Amongst all nations, read.
And there you shall be sold unto your
And when we
enemies.
go on these ships, we're going to be sold to who?
Your
We're
enemies.
going to be sold to our enemies. What does this sign say? To be sold. Negroes. Oh, y'all done forgot, huh? Yeah. This the real Israelites. The real Israel. Most of us are going to be sold to who?
Your enemies.
To our enemies. To be sold. Negroes. Right? So let's look. Give me Isaiah. Now go ahead. Finish reading.
For bondmen
For slave men
and bondwomen.
and slave women. What people went into cargo slave ships and was sold on auction blocks as what?
Slave men. Bondmen.
Bondmen
And bondwomen.
and bondwomen. As slave men and slave women. Who did that happen to? It happened to us. Because that's how we know we the children of Israel. And we do know who our enemy is.
For
Straight up. But we're willing to stand up for righteousness against the enemy. A lot of y'all scared, man. You ain't scared of each other. Y'all kill a brother in a minute. But just stepping on your shoe.
Right.
But your real enemy, you ain't gonna do nothing but just, yes sir, yes master. Whether you say it or not, you still saying it. In your spirit. Because you're a bunch of chumps. And that's sad, man. I hate to say that because I love my brothers, man. But a lot of y'all, man, y'all come against us, but you won't come against the enemy.
Right.
We'll hate each other, but you're gonna hate the real enemy. We just read to y'all we were sold to our enemies for bondmen, slave men, and slave women. Y'all better go look at that. Go over there at the rave and look at that movie, 12 Years of Slavery. You want to know what they did to us, especially you women. Y'all women really need to look at it. See what they did to y'all. For real, for real. That's one movie that at least it depicts how they did our women in a real way. Yeah.
You know they played it down.
Yeah, they played it down some, but it's still rough. It's still rough. You know what I mean? They don't know how to show our women being done like that, but